What if paying more in taxes this year would help you save a whole lot more in taxes over the course of your lifetime, or even extend that benefit to your beneficiaries in the future? My name is Michael Carlson. I'm with Carlson Wealth Advisors. You can learn more about me and our firm by clicking on the link below this video. It goes to our website. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Roth conversions. First of all, full disclosure, there is a lot that goes into deciding if a Roth conversion is right for you, and also deciding how much you should convert and when you should do that. For those of you who don't know, Roth conversion is the act of taking money from a traditional IRA, paying taxes on some of that amount that you then move over to a Roth IRA. That's it. Why would anybody want to do this? Well, there's a number of reasons why you might want to. The biggest thing is if you're in a lower tax bracket right now and you can opt into paying a lower amount of taxes on the same amount of money now compared to in the future when you're in a higher tax bracket, well, then it might make sense to do that conversion. The fact of the matter is, the money held inside a traditional IRA has not been taxed before. And someday, someone is going to have to pay the taxes on that. At a certain point, a certain age, 73 currently, it's set to be age 75 in the future, you're going to have to start taking required minimum distributions out of your IRA. The longer you live, the larger a percentage of your IRA you have to take out each year. And just as another reminder, in case you missed it, anything you take out of your IRA is treated as regular income. You got to pay taxes on that. Okay? One other thing to think about is that a few years ago, the rules around inherited IRAs changed. Used to be that your non-spouse beneficiaries, so say a child or a grandchild or a close friend or another relative, someone that's not your spouse, inherits your IRA. And let's say there's $1 million there at the end of your life in your IRA. It goes to your friend Sally or your daughter Susie, whoever. They used to be able to essentially treat that IRA as their own and do what's called a stretch. They'd be able to keep that IRA their whole life, have to take out a little bit each year. Well, like I said, that rule changed recently, where now that non-spouse beneficiary only has 10 years in which to liquidate their entire inherited IRA. What does that mean? In the case of someone who inherits a large IRA, let's say $1 million, like we said before, that means each year they're having to pull out at least $100,000. And remember, this is all taxable as regular income. That's easily going to shoot most people into a higher tax bracket, maybe even 2 tax brackets higher than where they are right now. Although I don't think anybody would ever complain about receiving any type of inheritance like that. If they could receive that in Roth form, they might appreciate a little bit more, or at least they won't complain come tax time that, oh man, I gotta pay all these taxes on this stuff. Going back to our original conversation topic, is a Roth conversion right for you? If you've got sizable IRA assets, and you happen to find yourself or intend to be in, or anticipate to be in, a period of time in life where you are in a lower tax bracket than usual, a lower tax bracket than you expect to be in the future, Roth conversions might be right for you. Again, there's a lot of stuff that goes into making this kind of decision. A few things to think about that might dissuade you from doing Roth conversions. One thing that a lot of people don't think about is if they do a lot of charitable giving or plan to do a lot of charitable giving. especially if it's going to be above the amount of your retired minimum distribution in the future, doing Roth conversions might not really make sense for you, because anything that you send out of your IRA after age 70 and a half, that goes directly to a charitable organization, 501c3, is going to not only go towards satisfying your required minimum distribution, but also it's not going to be taxable. Okay, that's called a qualified charitable distribution. Pretty neat little tool. Okay, so if you're charitably minded, intend to give a lot charitably, you might not even have to worry about being in a higher tax bracket later when it comes to those required minimum distributions and things like that. If there's not really a period of time where you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. Now, we don't know what tax brackets are going to be in the future. We know right now, because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, they are historically low. We know that that's going to sunset here pretty soon in the next few years, where if Congress doesn't do anything, rates will be going up, but they may act before then. Tax rules change all the time. But again, if you are in a place where, you're working until you're 70, you're going to keep having that same kind of income all through those years. And by the time you retire, you're going to be taking Social Security. You're going to be pretty close to that required minimum distribution age anyway. So might not make sense. One other thing I'll say is, if you don't have the cash to pay the taxes on the conversion, that's going to be pretty detrimental to this strategy as well, because that means you got to get that cash for the taxes somewhere. If you're pulling that from the IRA in order to do the conversion, that can throw a wrench in things and just make it not as efficient tax-wise. So, a lot of stuff to think about here. What you need to do ultimately is develop a strategy that makes sense for you, that helps you accomplish your goals. What are you wanting to do with this money? What does your tax picture look like? What does your income picture look like over the next 5, 10, 15 plus years? Is your IRA, or are your IRA assets even large enough to worry about these things? I'm Michael Carlson. I love helping people with this stuff. If we can help you or somebody you know save money on taxes over their lifetime, that kind of stuff gets me excited anyway. Taxes aren't exciting to everybody. But ultimately, good idea to come up with a solid strategy. Recommend talking to a tax professional or some other financial advisor that can help walk you through that process. If you got any questions, want to reach out to me, like I said, you can find my information below this video, and we'd be happy to talk to you. Thanks.